3 years ago, I made a conscious decision to level up my life by changing the small things. Habits. You know, those little daily actions that can either make you feel like you're crushing it or feel like shit. It all started during lockdown. School got cancelled, Netflix got boring, and suddenly I had all this time on my hands. So I thought, why not use it to actually do something productive? And I tried many things. I woke up at 5 a.m. like some kind of Navy SEAL. I did intermittent fasting, aka skipping breakfast and calling it self-care. And even doing 100 burpees before sunrise. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Spoiler alert, not all of those habits stuck. In fact, most of them didn't, but there were a few that made a real impact on my life. And those are the ones I'm going to share with you in this video. I started following a morning routine after listening to the audiobook version of the 5 a.m. Club. Now, the book goes deep into what you're supposed to do in that first magical hour. Things like showering, working out, and journaling. As I started to follow it, I realized something important. Doing things for yourself, no matter how small, can accumulate and make a huge positive change over time. Now, I'm sure you and I will have a completely different morning routine, as we all have different situations, schedules, and interests. But regardless of what morning routine you choose to develop, what matters is doing something that contributes to your overall well-being, rather than spending the first hour of your morning doing unproductive things, like scrolling through social media. For me, I start my day with some light stretching, soaking up morning sunlight, walking barefoot, yes, I believe in earthing, and reading for half an hour. Right now, I'm also working on being more consistent with meditation. I admit, sitting and doing nothing is tough. Having a morning routine removes decision-making first thing in the morning and allows me to jump into something that would help me improve even before my day begins. It also shifted my mindset from being reactive to what happens throughout my day to being proactive into how I shaped it. Now, a little warning. Your morning routines will never be perfect. You'll miss days, maybe oversleep, and sometimes you'll have to shuffle things around. That's part of the process. But in sticking with it, you'll pick up discipline and consistency. Two things that will help you far beyond the morning hours. Practicing daily gratitude is something that I only started recently, but it really shifted my perspective on a lot of things. I started to realize just how much there is to be thankful for. Relationships, family, friends, food on the table, and even the little things, like having a soft and comfortable bed to sleep on at night. At first, it felt a little cheesy. I mean, how many times can you write "I'm grateful for the roof over my head" before it feels like you're just repeating yourself? But over time, I started looking for more things to appreciate throughout the day, even the little moments. And that's when I realized its true purpose. It shifts your mindset into constantly seeking for things to be happy about. Now, there are tons of ways to practice gratitude. Some people journal and others include it in their meditation or prayer. But personally, I use this free app called Gratitude that prompts me with questions to reflect on. Write about a time where you were grateful for something a loved one did for you. Express gratitude for 3 things that you might take for granted. Write a thank you note to yourself. Ooh, that's nice. It's gratitude on training wheels. Super helpful for days when you can't think anything other than "I'm thankful for coffee." Research even backs this up. Practicing gratitude can reduce stress and anxiety, reduce symptoms of depression, lower the risk of heart disease, and many others. So yeah, it's a small habit, but it's had a surprisingly big impact on my life. This is a habit I picked up in college. I remember the first book I ever read took me more than a month to finish, and it's not even that big of a book. But that's where it all started. I realized how powerful self-learning could be. To be clear, this isn't about studying full school or work, though yeah, you should definitely do that if you have to. This is about learning something that genuinely interests you, something that's outside your regular routine, whether it's reading a book, taking an online course, or listening to podcasts. I spend 30 minutes a day learning something new. And the best part, this habit compounds. If you dedicate just 30 minutes a day to reading or learning a new skill, you'll accumulate more than 180 hours of personal growth and education over the course of a year. Over time, what I learned in those 30 minutes expanded into other areas of my life. I learned how to save and invest money, which led me to being able to make smarter financial decisions. I took online classes that helped me develop skills I now use to make a living. It even opened up some new opportunities, like starting a blog that generates passive income. Plus, you get bonus points for becoming that person who can contribute to interesting conversations with random facts. Trust me, it's more useful than it sounds. If I had to start over again and just choose one habit to focus on, it would be this one: prioritizing my health. Now, prioritizing your health isn't just one habit. It's a combination of smaller habits that work together, because you can't really focus on health without hitting a few key areas. First up, exercise. I try to work out almost every day, whether it's a full CrossFit session or just a quick set of push-ups on busy days. Even on those I'm too tired to move days, I still make time for some form of movement because it's that important. Then there's sleep. This one is non-negotiable. I aim for at least 7 hours of sleep every night. I know we live in a hustle culture that glorifies pulling all-nighters. But trust me, once you learn how bad sleep deprivation is, you'll never brag about being tired again. Lastly, there's food. I'm not strict about counting calories or following some crazy diet plan. I just try to eat real, whole foods and avoid the processed, sugary stuff as much as possible. Simple but effective. The benefits of prioritizing my health have been huge. More energy, better moods, and way more productivity throughout the day. Having a good health is the foundation for everything else that I do. Alright, the next one is very simple, but probably one of the most effective at reducing stress. If something can be done now, I just do it. It sounds basic, but trust me, this habit has been a lifesaver. Did I submit that project? Did I pay that bill? It creates unnecessary stress and anxiety. So I started knocking things as soon as they come up. New task at work? Done. Bill arrives? Paid. My wife asks me to walk the dog? You bet I'm walking that dog. There's a well-known time management rule called the 2-minute rule that says if something can be done in less than 2 minutes, just do it. I've extended that mindset into doing any tasks that I can handle immediately, even if it takes longer than 2 minutes. I guess the main benefits for me is that it frees up mental space and keeps me from stressing over a long to-do list later. So, those are the 5 things that changed my life. But here's something important to keep in mind. What worked for me might not work the same way for you, and that's okay. The key is to start small and make it as easy as possible to stay consistent. I get it, we get super motivated when watching videos like this. We try to overhaul our lives overnight, only to lose steam a week later. Here's one way to put it. If you've never run a mile in your life, don't try to run 5 every day. Start by walking 15 minutes a day and build from there. Small wins create momentum, and momentum creates habits. Remember, it's all about finding what fits your life and sticking with it. If you like this video, I'd highly appreciate if you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.